Bonjour YouTube! Hi, my name is Kiko and I'm a Japanese model in Paris. Today I'm going to be making a new video about Paris versus Tokyo, where is life actually better? Since I made a short about it, I thought why not make a YouTube video talking in details. So let's get into the video. First point to compare is fashion. In my opinion, fashion is better in Paris because French is known for being stylish, chic, elegant, and obviously France has its historical mode, la mode. So I don't think Tokyo is that compatible. Also in Tokyo, most of high fashion brands are falling anyway. I think we have this mindset of copying other people's styles. That's why Japan is huge on trends. France is not. However, in the center of Tokyo, I feel like there are more stylish people than maybe people in the center of Paris. I mean, Parisians, when they are walking in fashion, obviously they are very stylish. But I get the impression that only few people, whereas in Tokyo, on a personal, individual level, people are a little bit more stylish. Or at least people pay attention to what they wear a lot more than in Paris. Second point to compare is beauty standards. Parisians are naturally effortlessly beautiful. They don't need a lot of makeup. Parisian women value imperfect beauty, and I really like that about Paris. Also, they have their own way of doing makeup. I mean, it almost feels like every woman knows what to do for their skin, for their beauty. In Tokyo, I feel like the beauty standards are more like youthful, cute, kawaii style that I don't really love, but that's the standard. People want to look young. Naturality is still important, but you perhaps spend more time on makeup, maybe more money on makeup as well, and pressure to look perfect is there. So those are beauty standards different, and in my opinion, Paris is better when it comes to beauty standards because I feel like I can be who I am, and also it allows me to discover my style for my beauty standards. Whereas in Tokyo, I feel like there's this pressure once again to look alike. So yeah, it's connected to the trend in fashion. Knowing myself for me is very important, so Paris is definitely better for me. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Number 3, dating culture. As you guys know, if you follow me on this channel, I talk about it a lot, and for me, Paris wins. It's more direct and flirtatious and intense, and that's what I like. But in Tokyo or in Japan in general, I feel like the approach is rather indirect and slow. I don't think I can pursue that. I think I would be so frustrated and I would be extremely impatient. I rather know my answers and I rather communicate about my needs. I rather figure out what we can do to work out with my partner than always assuming or second guessing. So I don't know what you guys think. And also in Japan, there's this kokuhaku culture, which is to confess your feelings before getting into a relationship. While this makes things clear for exclusivity, I feel like there's this pressure to do kokuhaku and also going on so many dates before getting physically intimate won't work for me. But I don't know, what do you guys think? For me, Paris wins for dating culture. Number 4, work culture. This one also Paris wins for me because Tokyo has such long hours and there's this hierarchy definitely exists. This is interesting for me because social class hierarchy is the hierarchy that matters in France, I feel like, and that's related to the history and heritage. But in Japan, it's not about how much money you have or what kind of family background you come from. It is about your age and it's about your job title. So work is everything. When I say everything, it literally means everything. People love to work and people live for work, and that's not the case in France. Constant pressure to overwork, and you don't necessarily get paid for that. You have this work ethic, or at least tatemae, to do well. But in Paris, let's say the finishing time is 5, there will be totally people who leave work around for 50. I mean, sometimes speaking of my industry, it's a little bit different maybe from standards, but I know when the show is over, the work is over. Like, let's say the show finishes at 4:30, then the work is over at 4:30. You don't need to wait around till the clock hits 5 o'clock. It just does not make sense. But in France, there is like vice versa as well, as in, like, let's say there's a lot of retard. Like, I mean, so many things are retard. Like, so many things are late, and that is common sense. That will never happen in Japan. So those two, yeah, cultures are very, very different when it comes to work. But at least for me, knowing myself, I like environments that are more like laid back, and maybe you can be honest about what you really think, and also you can leave when the work is finished. Okay, when it's late, it's not the best, but at least maybe you're allowed to be on your phone, because in Japan, if you're constantly on your phone, it's seen as something rude. I think for me, work culture, Paris wins. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments. Number 5, social etiquette and manners. This one is very hard because in Paris, it really depends on the people, the type of people you meet. Of course, there are people that are extremely polite and extremely educated. On the other hand, there are people who just don't care at all. In Paris, less loose and more personality, whereas in Tokyo, in general, people are polite, considerate, and quiet. So I don't know which one you like, but for me, perhaps Tokyo might work for me, because there are no behaviors that like kind of are not acceptable, like unsupportive in French. That kind of behavior, I don't see it often. It's only once a month or once a week. Whereas in Paris, it almost feels like every single day there's some kind of craziness to people's behavior and maybe psychology, and sometimes I'm like worried. And this leads to me to the second point to compare, which is safety. When it comes to safety, Tokyo totally wins for me, because I never really feel unsafe walking alone at night in Tokyo. But in Paris, I mean, speaking of my experience, I had stalkers and I have been loved, and I had house burglary twice. And there are so many moments I just feel unsafe just walking on the street. And also people always kind of flirt with you, whether this is a nice thing or not, because people just want to give you compliments, which is like a nice thing. But sometimes it's just a bit too much, because like you can't, I don't know, you can't feel guilty for not being able to say yes. So then they kind of manipulate this situation and gaslight you. So this kind of thing, Japanese people, they don't do that because they are quiet, they are rather shy. When it comes to, yeah, safety, I guess for women, it can be more safe in Tokyo than Paris. However, there are a lot of chikan in Tokyo's trains, so you need to be careful. I had this experience when I was in high school, so it's not perfect, no place is perfect. But which is better when it comes to safety? Tokyo might be better. Number 7, food culture. I know what you guys are thinking. Paris wins because France is known for having the best food, fromage, la viande, le vin. I agree with you when it comes to those food. But when it comes to having a variety of food, I think Tokyo wins. Honestly, Tokyo has the most Michelins in the world. Honestly, when I'm in Tokyo, I feel like I have access to all kinds of food. Whereas in Paris, French cuisine is the main cuisine. So, you know, it lacks a variety for me. And yeah, they try Japanese, they try Asian cuisine, they try Mediterranean, like they have, you know, a lot of, how do you call this, like fusion cuisines. Franchement, c'est pas mal, but it lacks a variety for me, and that's something that I really like about Tokyo. Also, in general, Tokyo has more affordable and high quality food everywhere, and convenience stores like 7-Eleven is everywhere, 24/7 open, so you will never find yourself being hungry. But in Paris, a lot of stores are closed on Sundays, and prices for food are much higher, and you don't get the same amount for how much you pay as in Tokyo. So obviously the cost of food is one of the reasons why I choose Tokyo over Paris when it comes to food. Number 8 to compare is individualism versus community. In Paris, it's all about being individualistic. Individualism is real, and even myself, I hang out more people in Tokyo than in Paris, which sounds kind of strange maybe to some people, because I know if you are a foreigner in Tokyo, and also a lot of Japanese people find themselves being lonely. However, my friends, or at least people around me, they have so many events going on, and home parties, cafes, restaurants, and then there's like nomikai, like, I don't know, drinks after work, and then there's now bonenkai, because now it's the end of the year. My dad is going to one tonight. There are so many events here where you're connected to your colleagues and to your friends and old friends and family. Like, there are so many, it's endless. But in Paris, like, you are not expected to go to those events, even if there are some. Like, you can totally say no and you don't feel guilty about it. Whereas in Japan, if you do that, like, some people even judge you for this, or like, you may be seen as somebody that is norigawarui. In Tokyo, it's all about harmony and group mindset. Whereas in Paris, it's the opposite. In Paris, expressing your opinion is normal and freedom comes with loneliness. However, in Tokyo, a sense of belonging is so important to people. So which one is better? It's very hard. I let you choose. Last but not least, dreams and success. I am not only a model, but also an entrepreneur. And for me, this is very important. In Tokyo, success equals to stability and respectability, whereas in Paris, success equals to identity and creativity. Obviously, Paris is known for its art and culture. Freedom is success. But in Tokyo, that's not the mentality. It's about working hard, and it's about following the traditional path. If you are on the right path that your parents expect you to follow, that's a success. They care a lot about your age, which is very fascinating for me, because when I'm in Paris, I never get asked about my age. Whereas in Tokyo, people don't so much hesitate to ask about your age. Maybe for women, it's a little bit different, because you still have to be polite towards women. It's just like talking about money in Tokyo, talking about age is very common. And that's how people kind of associate with success. So at what age you got married, at what age you had your first kid, and so on. But in Paris, no, it's about having the unlimited freedom. I don't think your parents are going to be shouting at you if you don't have kids by 30. When it comes to dream and success, it's very different, and it's really hard. I can't pick. Can I say both? Let me know what you think. Where is life actually better, Paris or Tokyo? I would love to hear your opinions, and otherwise, please give it a like to this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Let's go before 2025 finishes, and please follow me on Instagram. It's Kiko Hirakawa. I would love to connect with you there. Thank you so much for being here again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.